Folks, are you as tired as I am of giving your money to companies that are woke? I am. When the Cracker Barrel thing came out, I mean, solid work. Your new logo looks like a PowerPoint presentation. But I'm pretty much strict on making sure I'm giving my money to companies who are pro-USA. And ultimately, America first. That's why I love working with Blackout Coffee. That's why I drink it every morning. They're family-owned, small business. And every time you have a sip, you know that you're not funding global elites. So join the movement, switch the brands. We're gonna put a discount code and link below the video. Truly fantastic stuff. So folks, we just can't get past this trans shooter thing. Just so much of it doesn't make sense. But before we start that, I found a clip of CNN the other day, and this is just wild. This is the craziness of what is going on in America right now. Listen to them talk.
Another piece of the puzzle as to who the shooter was. The Minneapolis Star Tribune says, according to court records, because there's been some confusion about what the shooter's name was.
Yes.
Robin Westman's mother applied to change her child's name in 2019. It was at one point Robert Paul Westman.
Correct.
But since she identifies as a female and wants her name to reflect that identification, was underage, it's now Robin Westman.
Is this what we're worried about on CNN? This is what we wanted to make your news deal today about. No, his name's Robin actually, not Robert. Do you hear yourself talk? All right, CNN, can we just say his name? Can we say his name? His name was Robert Paulson. Say it.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys,
His
please
name-
stop it.
It's Robert, okay? Anyways, this is where it all gets weird, if that's not weird enough. This dude had that he hates Jews all over his guns, that he hates Donald Trump, that he hates X, Y, and Z on there. But then he goes and he shoots up a Catholic church, okay? Those two things don't make any sense together. So, good buddy of mine, Jesse on Fire. If you guys have not seen his channel, you should definitely check him out. But we were talking about this and we were trying to figure out why it makes sense that this guy would put all of the weird stuff on the weapons that he did, but then go to a Catholic church and shoot up a Catholic church instead of, I don't know, something that would target the people that he had written on the guns. Obviously, nobody should be targeted here. And here's kind of what makes the most sense. If you're planning a PSYOP, whether you do high-end contracting, whether you're just a person who likes to screw with people, you ultimately want to manipulate the mind to say, this is broad as day. This guy doesn't like Jews and he doesn't like Trump, so he must be this Nazi dude, right? That's very clear cut. That's what the normal person would see and say, okay, this is what he doesn't like. But then you look into it further and some of it doesn't make sense, right? The part that doesn't make sense is he's shooting up a Catholic church. How do I say this? There is a lot involving that part of the world that is very much a fan of the LGBTQ plus, or whatever the hell you call it, community, right? So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for this guy to hate these people that he wrote on his guns. Here's what I think it is. When you consistently have a group of people that are being said that they're targeted, what this ushers in is more spying, more lengths to protect what they would call an asset, to essentially be like, look, clearly they're being targeted so much because this trans shooter had that he hated Jews on there, that it makes sense that they would bring in maybe more stuff to spy on Americans. And it's not only our government, it's probably gonna be the Israeli government. That's the only thing that makes sense here. Because you're not gonna tell anyone that this dude hated Jews, but then he went and shot up a place that has nothing to do with that. If you hate Jews, you hate Donald Trump, and then you go into a place that is probably one of the most accepting places in the world other than Christianity. Catholics a little more strict on stuff. Catholicism's probably a little more not as welcoming as if you were to just step into the church, but pretty damn close to Christianity. But what else can make sense? I mean, if you're truly trying to have some kind of psychological operation to where you get the mass numbers of people to say, wow, these people are really targeted, wow, these people are really in danger, but then the result has nothing to do with those people, that's exactly what a PSYOP is. I don't know, but this is becoming more and more of a common thing. I mean, seriously, can we just think about this very, very logically? If you're a person who hates something and you go to the extent of wanting to kill it, okay? Let's say it's ants. Do you go over to a pile of frogs and say, God, I really hate ants. I'm gonna kill all these frogs. when the ant pile is right there? Does that make any sense to anybody? That's what we're dealing with here. And to be honest with you, it feels like it's set up.
Consider mass shootings a health crisis, and we are doing for the first time real studies to find out what the etiology of that is. And we're looking for the first time at psychiatric drugs. You know, these kind of mass shooting, people have had guns in this country forever. When I was a kid, we had shooting clubs at our school. People, kids, my classmates, other people, would bring a .22 rifle with their guns to school and park it in the parking lot. Nobody was shooting. So there's never been a time in America, in the history of humanity, and people walked into a crowd, into a church or a movie theater or a school or a crowd of strangers and just started randomly shooting. It's happening in our country. It's not happening around the world.
It's a trans person. Obviously, that's making everybody on the right say, God, just another crazy person who doesn't care about their life, whatever. When stuff purposely doesn't make sense, or someone purposely plans something for it to not make sense, the person's either clearly very nuts and just very confused and can't tell the difference between a Catholic church and a synagogue, or a Catholic church and wherever the hell else, or some kind of setup.